The city woke up early that morning. Tall buildings reflected the soft light of the rising sun. Cars moved slowly on clean roads. Inside the biggest business tower in the city, an important meeting was about to begin. This building belonged to Mr. Roy, one of the richest businessmen in the country. He was known for his sharp mind, strong voice, and powerful presence. People said that once Mr. Roy entered a room, everyone else felt smaller. He had built his empire from smart deals and bold risks. Today was not an ordinary day. Mr. Roy was preparing to sign a deal worth $1 billion. The deal involved foreign partners from a distant country. It was the biggest deal of his life. Reporters were waiting outside. Investors were watching closely. One small mistake could ruin everything. Inside the grand conference hall, long glass tables were arranged neatly. Expensive chairs stood in perfect lines. Screens showed charts and numbers. Business experts from different countries sat quietly, whispering to each other. At the back of the hall, a man quietly cleaned the floor. His name was Ravi. Ravi was a janitor. He worked night shifts and early mornings. He cleaned offices, halls, and restrooms. Most people never noticed him. If they did, they looked away quickly. Ravi was used to being invisible. He wore simple clothes. His shoes were old but clean. His face showed calmness and tiredness together. He had been working since dawn. Ravi did not complain. He believed honest work had its own respect, even if the world did not show it. The meeting started. Mr. Roy stood at the front of the hall. His voice was strong and confident as he welcomed the guests. The foreign partners nodded politely. Everything was going smoothly. Then came the final step. A thick document was placed on the table. The document was written in an old and rare foreign language. It was not commonly used anymore. The deal could not be signed unless everyone fully understood it. Mr. Roy picked up the document and started reading. Slowly, his confident expression changed. His brows tightened. He looked at his legal team. "Can someone translate this clearly?" he asked. The room became tense. One expert stood up and tried to explain a few lines. He stopped halfway and shook his head. Another expert tried. He read carefully, but his voice lacked confidence. A third expert refused to take the risk. Minutes passed. The foreign partners exchanged looks. One of them checked his watch. The air in the room grew heavy. Ravi quietly continued cleaning, but his ears were alert. He could feel something was wrong. Mr. Roy tapped the table with his fingers. "This deal depends on this document," he said. "If we fail to understand it, we lose everything." Silence filled the hall. Then Mr. Roy laughed lightly, trying to break the tension. "Well," he said in a half-joking tone, "if someone here can translate this document perfectly, I will marry my daughter to him." Some people laughed. Others smiled nervously. They thought it was just a rich man's joke. Ravi froze. The words hit him like a sudden wind. He looked at the document from where he stood. Even from far away, the symbols and words felt familiar. His heart started beating faster. Ravi remembered his childhood. His grandfather was a quiet man who loved old books. He had lived in a small village near the border. Every evening, he taught Ravi a rare language spoken by their ancestors. People laughed at the old man and said the language was useless. "Knowledge never becomes useless," his grandfather used to say. "One day, it may save you." Ravi had never forgotten those lessons. He stared at the document again. He understood it. Every line, every meaning. His hands started shaking. His mind filled with fear. People like him did not speak in such rooms. People like him were not asked questions. If he spoke and failed, he would lose his job. If he spoke and succeeded, would anyone even believe him? A man sitting nearby noticed Ravi standing still. "Hey," the man said loudly. "Why is the cleaner staring like that? Do your job." Laughter echoed in the room. Ravi felt his face grow warm. His throat tightened. He looked down at his mop, then back at the document. Something inside him changed. He slowly raised his hand. The laughter stopped. All eyes turned to the back of the hall. Mr. Roy looked surprised. "You," he said, pointing. "What is it?" Ravi took a deep breath. "Sir," Ravi said respectfully, "I can translate the document." For a moment, the room was silent. Then people burst into laughter. Some shook their heads. Others whispered. A few smiled with mockery. "A janitor," someone said. "This is a joke." Mr. Roy raised his hand to stop the noise. He looked at Ravi carefully. His eyes were sharp. "You understand this language?" Mr. Roy asked. "Yes, sir," Ravi replied calmly. "Where did you learn it?" Mr. Roy asked. "From my grandfather," Ravi said. "He taught me when I was young." More whispers followed. Mr. Roy leaned back in his chair. He studied Ravi from head to toe. The man did not look confident. He did not look educated. Yet his voice did not shake. Mr. Roy smiled slightly. "All right," he said. "Come here." Gasps filled the room. Ravi hesitated, then slowly walked forward. Each step felt heavy. He could feel the eyes on him. Some were curious. Most were mocking. He stopped near the table. Mr. Roy handed him the document. "Translate it," he said. Out loud. Ravi held the paper carefully. His hands were steady now. He read the first line. He began translating in clear and simple words. The room grew quiet. Ravi explained the meaning of each section. He pointed out hidden conditions. He explained the risks and the benefits. His translation was smooth and accurate. The foreign partners leaned forward. One of them nodded slowly. Another smiled. Mr. Roy's expression changed. The laughter was gone. The room was silent again, but this time, it was filled with shock. Ravi continued until the end. When he finished, he handed the document back. "I am done, sir," he said. Mr. Roy did not speak immediately. He looked at his legal team. They checked the translation carefully. Their faces changed one by one. "It is correct," one of them said quietly. The foreign partners spoke among themselves. One of them stood up and said something in their language. Ravi understood it clearly. He smiled slightly. Mr. Roy stood up slowly. The entire hall held its breath. Ravi did not know what would happen next. But one thing was clear. His life was no longer invisible. The silence in the conference hall lasted longer than anyone expected. Ravi stood quietly near the table, holding his hands together. He did not look up. He did not smile. He simply waited. Mr. Roy finally broke the silence. "Sit down," he said. Ravi looked confused for a moment, then slowly sat on the chair closest to him. It was the first time Ravi had ever sat at a table like this. His heart was still beating fast. The foreign partners began talking among themselves. Their voices were calm now, no longer tense. One of them, a middle-aged man named Mr. Han, stood up and spoke in clear English. "Your janitor has saved this deal," Mr. Han said. The translation was accurate and honest. "We appreciate that." Murmurs spread through the room. Mr. Roy nodded slowly. He looked at Ravi again, this time with interest instead of doubt. The deal moved forward. Documents were corrected. New terms were agreed upon. Signatures were placed. Cameras flashed as the final papers were signed. The $1 billion deal was sealed. Applause filled the hall. Ravi felt his ears ring. Everything felt unreal. Just an hour ago, he was cleaning floors. Now people were clapping in the same room because of his words. After the meeting ended, the hall slowly emptied. Reporters rushed outside. Business leaders shook hands and left. Ravi stood up, unsure of what to do next. He picked up his mop and bucket. Habit guided his hands. Before he could turn away, Mr. Roy spoke. "Ravi," he said. Ravi stopped. "Yes, sir," he replied softly. "Come with me," Mr. Roy said. "We need to talk." Ravi followed him into a private office. The room was large but simple. Large windows showed the city below. Mr. Roy sat down and gestured for Ravi to sit as well. "You surprised everyone today," Mr. Roy said. "Including me." Ravi lowered his head. "I only did what I knew, sir," he said. Mr. Roy studied him for a moment. "Why are you working as a janitor if you know such a rare language?" he asked. Ravi took a deep breath. "My grandfather raised me," Ravi said. "He taught me many things. But when he passed away, I had to work. Education was not possible. Cleaning jobs were available." Mr. Roy nodded slowly. "Knowledge without opportunity," he said. "That happens more than people admit." There was a knock on the door. A young woman entered. She was calm and confident. Her name was Maya. "Father, the press is asking questions," she said. Then she noticed Ravi. Her eyes narrowed slightly, curious. "This is Ravi," Mr. Roy said. He translated the document. Maya looked surprised. "The janitor," she said. "Yes," Mr. Roy replied. Maya smiled politely at Ravi. "Thank you," she said. "You saved a lot of trouble." Ravi nodded, unsure what to say. After Maya left, Mr. Roy leaned forward. "I made a statement earlier," he said. "About marriage." It was said lightly, but people heard it. Ravi felt nervous. "I do not expect that, sir," Ravi said quickly. "I only wanted to help." Mr. Roy raised a hand. "I know," he said. "Still, words spoken in public carry weight. Especially mine." That evening, news spread across the city. Headlines read about the mysterious janitor who saved a billion-dollar deal. Some praised him. Some doubted the story. Others mocked it. Ravi returned to his small rented room that night. It was quiet and plain. He sat on his bed and stared at the wall. His phone rang. It was his supervisor. "Ravi, do not come to work tomorrow," the man said. Ravi's heart sank. "Am I fired?" he asked. "No," the supervisor replied quickly. "Mr. Roy wants you in his office in the morning." Ravi barely slept that night. The next morning, Ravi stood outside Mr. Roy's office again. This time, he wore clean clothes instead of his uniform. Inside, Mr. Roy introduced Ravi to his senior team. "This man will work with us as a language consultant," Mr. Roy announced. Shock filled the room. Ravi could hardly believe it. "You will be paid fairly," Mr. Roy added. "And trained further." Ravi's eyes filled with tears, but he held them back. "Thank you, sir," he said. Days passed. Ravi began learning fast. He studied contracts, business terms, and communication. People who once ignored him now listened carefully. Some respected him. Some felt threatened. Maya watched him quietly. She noticed how Ravi stayed humble. He never spoke more than needed. He never showed pride. One afternoon, Maya approached him. "You do not act like someone who just changed his life," she said. Ravi smiled lightly. "I still feel the same inside," he replied. They began talking more often. About books. About languages. About life. Maya realized Ravi was not only intelligent but also thoughtful. Still, not everyone was happy. Some executives whispered behind Ravi's back. They questioned his place. They laughed quietly. One day, a senior manager named Arun confronted Mr. Roy. "Are we really trusting a former janitor with sensitive matters?" Arun asked. Mr. Roy looked at him calmly. "He earned his place," Mr. Roy said. "Did you earn yours the same way?" Arun stayed silent. As weeks passed, Ravi proved himself again and again. He corrected mistakes others missed. He saved smaller deals quietly. The company began to grow stronger. The foreign partners asked for Ravi by name. The media wanted interviews. Ravi refused them all. "I want to work, not become famous," he said. Maya admired that. One evening, Mr. Roy invited Ravi and Maya for dinner. The mood was calm. After dinner, Mr. Roy spoke carefully. "I will not force any promise," he said. "But I want honesty. Ravi, what do you want from life?" Ravi thought for a long moment. "I want respect," he said. "Not power. Not money. Respect earned through work." Mr. Roy nodded. Maya looked at Ravi with new eyes. That night, Ravi walked back home under the city lights. He realized something important. His life had changed, but not because of luck. It changed because knowledge waited patiently for its moment. And that moment had finally arrived. The city felt different now to Ravi. The same streets, the same buildings, but his place inside them had changed. People greeted him by name. Security guards opened doors for him. Office staff waited for his opinion. Still, Ravi stayed the same inside. Every morning, he arrived early. He worked quietly. He listened more than he spoke. Respect followed him without effort. Mr. Roy watched all of this closely. The company was preparing for another major agreement. This one was even more sensitive. It involved multiple countries and long-term trust. One mistake could damage the company's reputation forever. This time, Ravi was part of the core team. Some executives were not comfortable. Arun, the senior manager, especially felt uneasy. He believed Ravi did not belong at the top table. During a late meeting, Arun spoke sharply. "This deal needs experienced people," he said. "Not emotional stories." The room grew tense. Ravi stayed quiet. Mr. Roy looked at Arun calmly. "Experience without honesty is dangerous," he said. "Ravi has shown both." Arun said nothing more, but his eyes showed anger. A few days later, something unexpected happened. Ravi noticed a small detail in the new contract. A sentence that looked harmless but carried a risk. It could allow one partner to quietly step back after gaining benefits. Ravi brought it to the team. Some ignored him. Others felt annoyed. "This has been reviewed already," Arun said. "Do not waste time." Ravi felt unsure but trusted his understanding. That evening, Ravi went to Mr. Roy directly. "I may be wrong," Ravi said. "But this line worries me." Mr. Roy read it carefully. His face hardened. "You are right," he said. "This could cost us everything." An emergency meeting was called. The issue was fixed. The deal was protected. This time, no one laughed. No one doubted. Arun avoided Ravi after that. News of Ravi's quiet success spread in business circles. Offers came from other companies. High positions. Big salaries. Ravi refused them all. "I owe my growth to this place," he said. Maya watched him closely during these days. She noticed how Ravi never chased power. How he treated everyone with the same respect. From guards to directors. One evening, they sat together on the office balcony. The city lights glowed below. "Do you ever feel angry?" Maya asked. "About how people treated you before?" Ravi thought for a moment. "I used to," he said. "But anger keeps you tied to the past. I want to move forward." Maya smiled softly. She realized then that Ravi was not just intelligent. He was strong in a quiet way. Time passed. Mr. Roy fell ill one morning. Nothing serious, but enough to slow him down. The company needed someone to represent it at an international summit. Mr. Roy made a surprising decision. "Ravi will go," he announced. The room was silent. Ravi was shocked. "I am not ready," he said honestly. Mr. Roy smiled. "You were ready long before anyone noticed," he replied. At the summit, Ravi spoke with calm clarity. He listened carefully. He translated complex ideas into simple words. People respected him. Deals were strengthened. Trust grew. When Ravi returned, the company welcomed him warmly. Arun resigned quietly a week later. No one stopped him. One evening, Mr. Roy invited Ravi and Maya again. This time, the tone was different. "I built this company with skill," Mr. Roy said. "But it will survive with values. Ravi, I want you to take a bigger role." Ravi was silent. "I accept," he said slowly. "If I can serve honestly." Mr. Roy nodded. Maya looked at Ravi. There was pride in her eyes. Days later, during a small gathering, Mr. Roy spoke openly. "I once made a public statement as a joke," he said. "But life has a strange way of testing words." He turned to Ravi. "You earned your place here not by a sentence, but by your character." Ravi felt his chest tighten. Maya stepped forward. "I want to say something too," she said. Everyone listened. "I choose respect over status," she said. "And I choose someone who never forgot who he was." She looked at Ravi. Ravi did not speak. He simply nodded, overwhelmed. The room filled with quiet approval. No cameras. No noise. Just understanding. Months later, Ravi visited his grandfather's old village. He stood near the small house where he once learned the forgotten language. He whispered a thank you. Back in the city, Ravi continued his work. He trained young employees. He helped those who were ignored. He never forgot the mop he once held. People no longer called him the janitor. They called him a leader. But Ravi knew the truth. He was the same man. Only the world had finally learned how to listen.